So today we will talk about the zero order reaction, the reaction in which the reactants A are converted directly into the products. Right, we will only talk about these type of reaction in which A is converted into products. This is basically 99% of cases A is converted into product. Right, if you want to write the rate of reaction of the zero order reaction, it will be ROR, and we, like I told you, that we will write rate of reaction now in terms of R, and R is equal to K concentration of A power 0, right? Or like when we know the rule in mathematics that A power 0 is equal to 1, so we can write this as ROR is equal to R K, means rate of reaction is equal to now the K constant. Okay, here one thing to remember is that as the reaction continues, as the reaction goes on, the concentration decreases of reactant. The concentration will obviously decrease, we know this fact, right? But the speed, or you can say the rate, will not get affected. Rate will not get affected. Why? Because we already told you that here A is raised to the power 0. It means that rate of reaction is independent of the concentration, right? So the concentration of the reactant will decrease. Obviously with time it will decrease, but the rate of reaction will not decrease. It is only for zero order reaction, because as we have learned before, like initially the rate of reaction is very fast, but after, as the concentration decreases, the rate of reaction also gets slow. But here in the zero order reaction, this won't work, and this concentration will gradually obviously decrease with time, but the rate of reaction will not get affected. Like speed is, like, it is independent of the concentration, independent of concentration. What? Rate is basically independent of concentration or independent of time as well. Independent of time as well. If I want to plot a graph, so it would be like this is a graph. So if I put here time and here concentration of A, so it will be a constant graph. Like with respect to time, the concentration, like the rate of reaction won't get affected. Sorry, here it will be rate. The rate won't get affected with respect to time. If I have to draw another graph, which is concentration and the rate basically, so it will be also like this. It will be constant graph because the rate will not get affected by the change in concentration, right? Okay, now let's talk about zero order reaction. Like all photochemical reactions, all photochemical reactions are basically the zero order reactions. For example, if we add hydrogen plus chlorine, the HCl will be formed, right? So here sunlight is used, right? So this is basically the photochemical reaction. It is a zero order reaction. If I want to write the rate expression for this, it would be ROR, which is equal to R. It will be K H2 0 and Cl2 0, because here the concentration is not being utilized, or you can say the rate of reaction is independent of the concentration of hydrogen and chloride, but it is dependent upon the sunlight, right? Because sunlight would let them react, right? So if I want to write the order of reaction, so the order, as you can see, overall order of reaction, so it will be 0 plus 0, it will be 0, right? So the order of reaction will be 0. Or you can see the reactions in which catalysts are being used are basically the zero order reactions. For example, we have decomposition of ammonia. Take ammonia, and which N2 plus H2, right? And here the catalyst is basically W, which is tungsten. Tungsten is basically a metal. So like in the presence of a catalyst, there is a decomposition of ammonia. Decomposition of ammonia. So it is also a zero order reaction because here the concentration of ammonia doesn't matter, right? If I talk about the rate of reaction, it will be R is equal to K NH3 0. So order of reaction will also be 0. Order of reaction will be 0, right? So in which basically the concentration doesn't get disturbed. Like the concentration will obviously gradually decrease, but the rate of reaction won't get affected. It will remain same, it will remain constant, right? So I hope this is clear to you. If you have any kind of queries, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be very glad to answer you guys.